What's going on, guys? Rob from myppctraining.com. Today, I wanted to run through a question we also get a lot, which is what's a good click-through rate or what's a good CTR, same thing. And I'm just going to kind of go right into it here. So, if we're in one of your campaigns, you can see we have our agency campaign here. You can find the click-through rate up here in the top column. You can see here we're 12.86, which is exactly where I'm happy with that. That's fine. And ideally, you should be shooting for 5% or above, okay? That should be your benchmark. Your absolute minimum CTR that you should have in a campaign running is 2%. Anything below 2%, you should start pausing and recreating ads and reevaluating the keywords that you're using in your ad groups for those low CTRs, because you got to pump that up. Now, let me just kind of run through it and show you what I mean. So here's our CTRs at the ad group level. You can see here they're all pretty good. We have one that's not so great here, but it's only 13 impressions, so it's not really enough data to do anything with yet. But let's say this was, 1.69% or something. Or actually, let's do something with some more clicks. So let's say white label Google Adwords had CTRs that were really poor. Obviously, it's pretty awesome, so it's not, but it's not just an ad problem when it comes to click-through rate. You have to look at your keywords too, all right? That's really important. So we come in here, we look at our ads, we could say, all right, I gotta use a better example, something with more clicks and more ads. So give me 1 second. This is a little bit better. Okay, so you can see here our CTRs and our different ads here. So if you have poor CTRs, it could not. It's not just an ad problem. Okay, you have to go into your keywords too and see which keywords are driving the most impressions versus the clicks and the CTRs and stuff like that. And you gotta evaluate. Like maybe you're running a broad match keyword here, and the click-through rate on it's less than 1%. Okay, but then you have your exact and phrase match keywords, and you have 14%. And 4%, which is okay. It's a little under our benchmark, but it's not bad. All right, and then so you realize this one keyword is crushing your CTR, and it's not driving you leads. That's the most important part. Okay, if it's driving you leads, you shouldn't mess with it. All right, but most of the time, if you're using a broad match keyword in one of your ad groups and it's really dragging down your click-through rate in that ad group, it's not converting. Most of the time, okay? But look at this broad match keyword. This is 15 clicks, 117 impressions, 12% CTR, 4 leads. All right? So that's pretty good. I mean, I can't really complain with that. But that's pretty much how you have to look at click-through rate, okay? I'm trying to think if I can add something else here, because I feel like I might have just confused you guys. So let me try something one more time. All right, so just things to take away from this video. The minimum CTR you want to have in one of your ad groups is 2%. All right, you should be aiming for 5% or above. Now, if you have a low CTR, it's very important to go into the ad group where you have the low CTR, start evaluating the keywords that have the really low CTRs, and make sure they're not shitty keywords that are just like broad match, or they're just bad keywords that are not converting but are getting a shitload of impressions and nothing's happening, okay? If you don't have a keyword problem, then you have an ad problem. So you have to go into that ad group's ads and look at which ads are not getting high click-through rates. And you're going to have to pause them and create new ads with new copy and just completely different, all right? And you're just going to have to let it run and gather some data and adjust from there. So that's really how you should be tweaking and messing around with click-through rate. I hope that's clear for you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can add to this to make it more clear, but if you're running AdWords, you know what click-through rate is. It's an important metric, so that's pretty much how it works. And just keep in mind when you're optimizing for click-through rate that shouldn't be the only factor you're optimizing your ads off of. You should be optimizing your ads off of conversions, all right? So you always want to optimize your ad groups and your ads for ads that convert the highest, not just. There could be an ad that has 50% click-through rate, but it has 0 conversions in an ad group. and then another ad in that ad group has a 5% click-through rate and has all the conversions, all right? We're obviously not going to pause the ad that's driving all the leads and run the one with the high click-through rate.